The Book of Jubilees, chapter 49. Remember the covenant which the Most High commanded thee concerning the Passover, that thou shouldest celebrate it in its season, on the 14th of the first month, that thou shouldest kill it before it is evening, and that they should eat it by night on the evening on the 15th from the time of the setting of the sun. For on this night, the beginning of the festival, and the beginning of the joy, ye were eating the Passover in Egypt, when all the powers of Mastema had been led loose to slay all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh to the firstborn of the captive maid servant in the mill, and to the cattle. And this is the sign which I am gave them into every house of the lentils of which they saw the blood of a lamb of the first year. Into that house they should not enter to slay, but should pass by it, that all those should be saved that were in the house, because the sign of the blood was on its lentils. And the powers of I am did everything according as I am commanded them. And they passed by all the children of Israel, and the plague came not upon them to destroy from amongst them any soul, either of cattle or man or dog. And the plague was very grievous in Egypt, and there was no house in Egypt where there was not one dead, and weeping and lamentation. And all Israel was eating the flesh of the pastural lamb and drinking the wine, and was lauding and blessing and giving thanks to the Most High power of their fathers, and was ready to go forth from under the yoke of Egypt and from the evil bondage. And remember thou this day all the days of thy life, and observe it from year to year, all the days of thy life, once a year, on its day, according to all the law thereof, and do not adjourn it from day to day, or from month to month. For it is an eternal ordinance, and engraven on the heavenly tables regarding all the children of Israel, that they should observe it every year on its day, once a year, throughout all their generations. And there is no limit of days, for this is ordained forever. And the man who is free from uncleanness and does not come to observe it on occasion of its day, so as to bring an acceptable offering before the Most High power, and to eat and to drink before the Most High on the day of its festival, that man who is clean and close at hand will be cut off, because he offered not the oblation of the Most High in its appointed season. He will take the guilt upon himself. Let the children of Israel come and observe the Passover on the day of its fixed time, on the 14th day of the first month, between the evenings, from the third part of the day to the third part of the night. For 2 portions of the day are given to the light, and a third part to the evening. This is that which the Most High commanded thee, that thou shouldest observe it between the evenings. And it is not permissible to slay it during any period of the light, but during the period bordering on the evening. And let him eat it at the time of the evening until the third part of the night. And whatever is left over of all its flesh from the third part of the night and onwards, let them burn it with fire. And they shall not cook it with water, nor shall they eat it raw, but roast on the fire. They shall eat it with diligence, its head with the inwards thereof, and its feet they shall roast with fire, and not break any bone thereof. For of the children of Israel no bone shall be crushed. For this reason the Most High I am commanded the children of Israel to observe the Passover on the day of its fixed time, and they shall not break a bone thereof. For it is a festival day, and a day commanded, and there may be no passing over from day to day, and month to month, but on the day of its festival let it be observed. And do thou command the children of Israel to observe the Passover throughout their days, every year, once a year, on the day of its fixed time, and it will come for a memorial well-pleasing before the Most High power, and no plague will come upon them to slay or to smite in that year in which they celebrate the Passover in its season in every respect, according to his command. And they shall not eat it outside the sanctuary of I Am, but before the sanctuary of I Am. And all the people of the congregation of Israel shall celebrate it in its appointed season. And every man who has come upon its day shall eat it in the sanctuary of your power before the Most High from 20 years old and upward. For thus is it written and ordained that they should eat it in the sanctuary of the Most High. And when the children of Israel come into the land which they are to possess, into the land of Canaan, and set up the tabernacle of I Am in the midst of the land in one of their tribes, until the sanctuary of I Am has been built in the land, let them come and celebrate the Passover in the midst of the tabernacle of I Am, and let them slay it before I Am from year to year. And in the days when the house has been built in the name of I Am in the land of their inheritance, they shall go there and slay the Passover in the evening at sunset at the third part of the day. And they will offer its blood on the threshold of the altar, and they shall place its fat on the fire which is upon the altar, and they shall eat its flesh roasted with fire in the court of the house which has been sanctified in the name of I Am. And they may not celebrate the Passover in their cities, nor in any place, save before the tabernacle of I Am, or before his house, where his name hath dwelt. And they will not go astray from the Most High. And do thou, Moses, command the children of Israel to observe the ordinances of the Passover, as it was commanded unto thee. Declare thou unto them every year, and the day of its days, and the festival of unleavened bread, that they should eat unleavened bread 7 days, and that they should observe its festival, and that they should bring an oblation every day during those 7 days of joy before the Most High Power on the altar of your power. For ye celebrated this festival with haste, when ye went forth from Egypt, till ye entered into the wilderness of Shur. For on the shore of the sea ye completed it. All praise to the power of the Son of Man, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Father I Am that I Am, and his only begotten Son, the Son of Man, to finally come to save the lost sheep of the house of Israel in our trying and desperate times, aka spiritual Jacob's trouble. Whew! That chapter was so beautiful, y'all. Chapter 49 of the Book of Jubilees. We only have one chapter left. Now, this chapter went into strict detail of the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread and exactly what to do as a child of Israel or the children of Israel. I'm talking to y'all. You know what I'm saying? So this applies from generation to generation. That means forever. So basically, I'm talking to y'all because it applies to me too. You know what I'm saying? Every year, we are to keep the Passover. It don't matter what's going on in your life. You are commanded by the Most High. Unless I'm not even going to say that. I was going to say something. I was going to say unless you're on your deathbed, but let me not even say that. Let me just say that there's nothing more important than keeping the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread once a year in the Most High's eyes. Because where do you want to spend your eternal soul, your eternal habitation? Do you want to spend it with the Most High? All right, then do what the Most High wants you to do. And this is one of the most important things that the Most High asks us to do, is to keep the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread that whole week. Keeping the Passover is probably on the same level as keeping the Sabbath day. From what I've read and doing research, as far as in the Most High's eyes, because that was one of his most powerful decrees and declarations, you know what I'm saying, in all of the Bible, because it really shows the pure might and strength and everlasting power of the Most High of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel. With that being said, y'all, we only have one more chapter tomorrow. There's 50 chapters in the Book of Jubilees, so stay tuned. All praise, shalom.